Hello and welcome to India Business Hour. I'm Shireen Bhan. The headlines that we're tracking for you this evening. Noel Tata will succeed Ratan Tata as the chairman of the Tata Trust. The board of trustees elects him unanimously as the chairman to oversee the $400 billion conglomerate. CNBC TV 18 was the first to report on the succession this afternoon. 67-year-old Noel Tata has been leading the group's retail business Trent, which is now valued at 3 lakh crore rupees. It is the fourth largest company in the conglomerate. Trent's share price has risen from 500 rupees to more than 8,000 rupees in the last 5 years. The Indian rupee weakens to a record low against the US dollar, breaches the 84 mark for the first time due to foreign outflows. Money market watchers say RBI stepped in to stem the fall. India's industrial production shrinks by 0.1% in August, the first contraction in 2 years. Manufacturing growth slows to 1%. Growth in mining and electricity see a significant contraction. IPO-bound Hyundai India is clocking a 40% increase in sales in the first 10 months of the month, says Chief Operating Officer Tarun Garg. The 28,000 crore rupee IPO will open on the 15th of October. Britannia has set to hike prices to shore up revenue growth, says Managing Director Varun Berry. Adds the company is not happy with the current single-digit growth rate. Israeli missiles strike residential neighborhoods in Lebanon's capital, Beirut. At least 22 people have been killed, over 100 injured. Israel faces widespread condemnation after its troops shot at UN peacekeepers in Lebanon. At least 10 people are dead as Hurricane Milton batters Florida. More than 2.6 million people still without power. The U.S. National Weather Service warns of heavy downpour. With less than 30 days to go for the U.S. elections, former President Barack Obama hits the campaign trail with Kamala Harris. A Wall Street Journal poll points to a dead heat across 7 battleground states. An Indian Air Force plane makes the first landing on the newly built airport in Navi Mumbai. The airport is scheduled to be inaugurated by March next year. Well, the top story this evening, Noel Tata, the 67-year-old half-brother of Ratan Tata, will succeed him as the chairman of Tata Trust. Noel Tata was unanimously appointed as the chairman at a board meeting that took place earlier today in Mumbai. Now, this comes 48 hours after the death of Ratan Tata at the age of 86. I'm told the board of the Tata Trust held 2 meetings today. The first one was to pay homage to Ratan Tata, and the second was to appoint the next chairman, where Noel Tata was chosen unanimously. In fact, I'm given to understand that there was back and forth on whether the decision should be taken today or should there be some time given. But finally, it was decided that this would be what Ratan Tata would have wanted. He believed in an approach to get on with things. And so the Tata Trust decided unanimously, without any ambiguity at all, that it would be Noel Tata, and the decision was taken today. Now, Noel Tata is already a trustee in the Sir Dorabji Tata Trust and the Sir Ratan Tata Trust, which together own 52% stake in Tata Sons, which is the holding company of the Tata Group. In a statement, Noel Tata said he was deeply honoured and humbled by the responsibility that has been cast on him. He said that he looks forward to carrying on the legacy of Ratan Tata and the founders of the Tata Group. All in all, the Tata Trust owns 66% stake in Tata Sons and oversee the $400 billion conglomerate. Now, it functions largely as the philanthropic arm of the Tata Group and one of India's leading charitable foundations. It's managed by a board of 13 trustees. But before we dive deeper into Noel Tata's career, here are some reactions to his succession.
You know, earlier the trust chairman and the Tata Sons, the business chairman, if I may use that expression, was the same person. JRD was and Ratan was. And sometimes that could provide a potential conflict. Though they handled it, you could not leave that as a structure. So it's now very nice. You separated the NGO, not the NGO, what do you call it, the trust functioning from the business functioning.
The way Tatas have functioned is that they shape people and they shape Tatas. I mean, Noel was a born Tata. And so, you know, he has been working very quietly in an area where they've had spectacular success. And so as I try and visualize him in the new chair or new position, I see that, okay, the qualities of simplicity, humility, the quintessential Tata character, is all over him. And his experience, they all will come with different backgrounds, but they all had the chance to grow under the big trees. Mr. Ratan Tata under J.R.D. Tata and Noel Tata under Ratan Tata. So they worked closely for very long.
Well, reactions there to the succession. Let's now focus on Noel Tata, the new chairman of Tata Trust, a part of the Tata Group for over 4 decades. Noel Tata is currently at the helm of affairs of several of the Tata Group companies, including Trent Tata Investment Corporation and Tata International. Now, Noel Tata became the managing director of Trent way back in 1999. He was elevated to the position of chairman in 2014. Let's take a look at the Trent shares. They have surged 6,000% in the last decade, currently commanding a market cap of about 3 lakh crore rupees. Now, Noel Tata has been credited with turning Trent into a profitable venture. The revenue of the company has risen from about 50 crore rupees in the year 2000 to over 12,000 crore rupees in the last fiscal. Under Noel Tata's leadership, Trent has entered into a joint venture with British retail giant Tesco to operate stores under the banner Star Bazaar, Star Daily and Star Market. In fact, Trent launched its budget-friendly retail chain Zudio in 2016. It's since surpassed the Tata Group's profitable retail chain Westside when it comes to footprint. While Westside currently runs 232 stores in 91 cities, there are around 545 Zudio stores across 164 Indian cities. Noel Tata has also played a pivotal role in launching Spanish fashion brand Zara and Italian cosmetic brand Sicily in India. Known to keep a low profile, Noel Tata is related to the Palanji Mistry family. He's married to Alu Mistry, the sister of the late Cyrus Mistry. Noel Tata's 3 children, Maya, Neville and Leah Tata, are all involved in the Tata Group in various capacities.
Beautiful thing about the whole Tata story, that message that we need to get out there, that it is possible to be, a compassionate capitalist. It's absolutely nothing wrong about making money. Noel has demonstrated that. It's a very exciting, and it's a perfect combination. Noel and Ratan, Noel and Chandra. I mean, Chandra is such a call to action to really performance enhance businesses and really drive them, whereas Noel will have a chance now to sit back and plot the strategy and work, in giving sort of strategic guidance as to the direction that Chandra will execute on.
When Ratan Tata was with his mother in US when she was undergoing treatment, he prepared a note. It's a bit lengthy note where Tata should be going and looking forward. So some of the areas he had talked about was nanotechnology, the semiconductor, the oil exploration, the aviation, and things were not so smooth for him when he took over because there were many satraps and the powerful guys, and they were controlling their own empires. So things are much more easier for Noel Tata to take it forward to whatever areas he must be thinking about. And this is actually a wonderful opportunity compared to Mr. Ratan Tata.
Sources are indicating to us that it would be indeed Noel Tata. The confirmation is still awaited. This is, of course, source-based information that we're picking up.
But Noel Tata is likely to be appointed the successor, is what we're given to understand, but no final decision has been taken.
Noel Tata has been appointed as the chairman of the Tata Trust.
It's all very nice. We separated the trust functioning from the business functioning.
Total continuity, they will act in tandem. There'll be total harmony in the working.
He has been working very quietly in an area where they've had spectacular success.
Well, on to the market action of the day. The Sensex and the Nifty ending the day and the week in the red. This is the second straight week of losses for the markets. Mid-caps did buck the trend, closing about 0.5% higher, but otherwise a flat close in the red for the Sensex and the Nifty Bank down by almost 400 points. For the week, financials continue to be a drag, with the Nifty Bank losing. In the currency market, and that's where the story is, the Indian rupee weakening to a record low against the US dollar. For the first time, the rupee breaching the 84 mark. Foreign portfolio investors have pulled out $7.5 billion from the equity markets over the last 9 sessions. And money market watchers say the RBI was seen selling the dollar to stem the fall. In the bond market, the 10-year bond price declining in trade and the yields hardened. So that's the story across the money markets. Lata is standing by with more on the rupee and the money market and what we should expect from here on. Lata.
Well, it's quite a headline when the rupee crosses 84 and goes lower to 84.10 to buy a dollar, because it's been in this 83 to 84 range for over a year now. And 84 was seen being protected by the Reserve Bank for a long time. Whether they intended it as a mark, we don't know. But it seemed to recoil from that level. But today it crossed beyond. And at 84.10, we saw dollar supplies coming in. So dealers are suspecting that now Reserve Bank is protecting the 84.10 mark. Of course, their usual stance is they only remove volatility and come in when there is too much of a one-sided movement. Now, the chances are that the moment you went beyond 84, a lot of people who were sitting short dollars would have come and covered. And therefore, that 84.10 would have came very swiftly once 84 got crossed. And that's why perhaps the Reserve Bank intervenes to ensure that there isn't too much of one-sided movement. Now, why is this panic? For one, we know that, over the weekend, there are some important events lined up, important uncertain events lined up. The first is the Chinese press conference where they may detail some fiscal steps. Now, if they are fairly strong enough, then you could see a greater amount of foreign money going into Chinese stocks. As we have seen, foreigners have been huge sellers in the month of October, and that could get accelerated, which is one reason why the rupee is on a weak wicket. The other one is a possible attack of Israel on Iran that has already taken crude closer to the $80 mark. It even crossed once. So there is again that fear. We are seeing crude rising, and that's also leading to pressure on the rupee. And a third factor, which combines both, dollar index itself has strengthened. And we are seeing many currencies weakening against the dollar. Who is to say that there cannot be a little more strengthening of the dollar? Of course, the latest bout of strengthening of the dollar was because the inflation number came in higher than expected in the US. And that led to at least one FOMC member saying that you can even pause in November. That also led to a bit of a strength, the dollar leading to rupee weakness. Now the question in the market is 84.10 the new 84 as far as the RBI is concerned? Will they support that level? We'll have to wait and see. Too many uncertainties are packed in over the weekend. Nobody will want to go with long rupee positions over such a weekend.
Lata, many thanks. Well, that was the rupee and the bond market. Let's talk about the energy markets, where oil prices have eased today after rallying in the last session. However, prices remain on track for a second straight weekly gain. This as investors weigh the impact of hurricane damage on demand from the US against any broad supply disruption if indeed Israel attacks Iranian oil sites. Brent crude remains below the $80 mark for now. Now, India's industrial production output shrank by 0.1% in August on an annual basis versus a growth of 4.7% in July. Now, this is important because this is the first time since October of 2022 that industrial output has contracted on an annualized basis. The drop was largely led by contraction in the output of mining and electricity. Manufacturing output also recorded a steep decline during the month. Now, Adani Enterprises has announced the first tranche of its qualified institutional placement to raise up to 4,200 crore rupees. Sources have told us that the company has received strong investor demand from marquee investors, including Quant MF and GQG Capital. The funds raised will be used for capital expenditure and debt repayment. IPO-bound Hyundai India sales in the first 10 days of October up 40% as per the Chief Operating Officer Tarun Garg. The automaker is hoping for a strong festive season. All companies, in fact, hope to clear the inventory which is piled up. Hyundai India's IPO opens on the 15th of October.
October has started on a very positive note. As per the Vahan data, our deliveries, our registrations are up 40% this month over the same period last month.
And
so
you
I think,
expect to complete the month?
So, frankly speaking, after a long time, October is a month where Dhanteras is also there, and Dashara is also there, and Navratra is also there. So everything is bundled into October. So we are very optimistic about October.
So what's your order book right now?
Order book is healthy, and we're seeing some great traction.
And from auto to FMCG, Britannia set to hike prices to shore up revenue growth, says its managing director Varun Berry. Speaking to CNBC TV 18, Berry said the company is not happy with the current single-digit growth rate. Take a look.
We have been growing and we continue to grow, but we are not happy with these single-digit growths, as you must have seen in our Q2 results as well. These tepid single-digit growths don't excite us. We are hoping that we'll be out of it. And we seem to be getting to the end of this phase when this inflation has now come in, and which would mean price increases as we go forward. So because of that, it might take another 6 months for us to get out of this single-digit phase to back to what we've been doing for so many years.
Well, from FMCG to pharma, shares of walk hard hitting the upper circuit in trade. This surge coming as the company said it is ready to present its pneumonia drug for phase 3 clinical trials before the Indian regulators. Speaking to CNBC TV 18, walk hard's chairman Habil Khurakiwala said the company expects approval for the drug in the next few weeks. Take a look.
Our drug is a short-acting, very ultra short-acting treatment of 3 days. It is a tablets. It is given orally. And it has a 97% success rate. Today, the existing drug, like azithromycin, has a resistance of 50 to 60%. We expect this approval to come in next few weeks, actually, because DCGI takes little time to look at other data and give an approval.
And there's more pharma news. The phase 3 trials for India's first dengue vaccine being conducted across 19 cities. Panacea Biotech has developed the vaccine, and the company's chairman Rajesh Jain is hoping to launch it in the next 2 years.
We are progressing very well with the dengue vaccine clinical trial that we have started on 14th August 2024 with ICMR. This is a phase 3 trial which is being conducted on 19 sites across India and will cover more than 10,000 adults who will receive this vaccine. And as of last week, Saturday, we have already had 400 subjects which have been immunized with this vaccine. So it's going pretty well, and we are hoping that this particular trial should cover the entire 10,000 subjects by March 2025.
Well, we told you first, and it is now official. Sudarshan Chemical will acquire German pigment business Huback Group in a deal worth nearly 1,200 crore rupees. Additionally, Sudarshan Chemical will take 100% stake in Huback Holdings. The deal is expected to close in the next 3 to 4 months. The Indian Air Force has successfully conducted the trial landing of an aircraft at the Navi Mumbai International Airport. A water cannon salute was accorded to the IAF transport carrier, which landed at the newly constructed airport earlier today. The airport is the second in the Mumbai metropolitan region and is expected to start commercial operations by March next year. It features 4 terminals, 2 parallel runways and a parking space with 350 flights. It has the capacity to cater to 90 million passengers annually, much needed given the congestion that we are currently seeing across our metros, including Mumbai. Up next on India Business Hour, with less than 30 days to go for the US elections, former President Barack Obama hits the campaign trail with Kamala Harris. A Wall Street Journal poll points to a dead heat across 7 battleground states. Details coming up. Catch all of CNBC TV 18's news and updates on Facebook, X, Threads, Instagram and JioCinema. The situation in West Asia remains grim. Israeli forces have struck Beirut city centre and have destroyed 2 residential buildings, killing at least 22 people, injuring over 100. Many residents were seen leaving their apartments in the area, gathered in courtyards as emergency services rushed to the scene. Reports have suggested that the military has attacked UN peacekeeping forces near the border with Lebanon. Meanwhile, Israeli forces stepped up their offensive in Gaza. At least 1 person was killed and many were wounded in an Israeli bombing in northern Gaza. The military has also arrested 8 Palestinians overnight and this morning in West Bank. Prime Minister Modi has laid down a 10-point plan to strengthen ties between India and the ASEAN nations. Addressing the summit in Laos, the Prime Minister said that trade between India and ASEAN has doubled over $130 billion in the last decade. He also announced a review of a trade agreement to boost the economic potential of the partnership. Meanwhile, at the East Asia Summit, the Prime Minister stressed on the need to restore peace around the world, adding that solutions to problems cannot come from the battlefield and that this is not an era of war. At least 10 people dead as Hurricane Milton battered Florida. This is the third hurricane to hit Florida this year. More than 2.6 million people are still without power. Some airports will remain shut in the region, while Tampa International Airport is set to reopen after remaining shut for 3 days. The U.S. National Weather Services has warned of a heavy downpour. With less than 30 days to go for the U.S. elections, a Wall Street Journal poll finds that voters in the 7 swing states are divided over which candidate should become president. However, when it comes to issues like the economy and border security, it is Donald Trump who has the edge over Kamala Harris. Meanwhile, former President Barack Obama has hit the campaign trail with Democratic presidential nominee Harris. In a rally in swing state of Pennsylvania, he attacked the Republican nominee Donald Trump over his policies on the economy and abortion. Obama said the U.S. needs a president who cares. Addressing young voters at the Pittsburgh College campus, he urged them to put their phone down, grab your friends and vote.
I'm sorry, gentlemen. I've noticed this especially with some men who seem to think Trump's behavior, the bullying and the putting people down, is a sign of strength. And I am here to tell you that is not what real strength is. Real strength is about working hard and carrying a heavy load without complaining. There is absolutely no evidence that this man thinks about anybody but himself. Pennsylvania, we do not need 4 more years of that. We don't need 4 more years of arrogance and bumbling and bluster and division. America's ready to turn the page. We are ready for a better story.
Well, President Obama there. Now, Tesla CEO Elon Musk has unveiled the EV major self-driving robo-taxi called the Cybercab. Musk has vowed that the Cybercab, which is likely to be produced in 2026, will be priced under $30,000. He also announced plans to bring autonomous driving to Tesla's Model 3 and Model Y cars in California. Well, Durga Puja is not just about the victory of good over evil or the celebration of the many aspects of the goddess. It's become an economic event, not just for corporate houses and businesses, but the organizations that organize the pavilions or pandals. Meghna Sen visited the Durga Puja pandal in New Delhi's Chittaranjan Park. Reports that this partnership not only enhances the cultural experience, but also boosts local businesses. Take a look.
This is Chittaranjan Park in New Delhi. It's synonymous with Durga Puja in the national capital as it houses one of the most popular Durga Puja pavilions every year. Known as the heart of Delhi's Bengali community, CR Park hosts Durga Puja each year that draws hundreds and thousands of people. And this year it's grander than ever. But beyond this glitz and grandeur, the economy of the celebrations are really fascinating. From local businesses to large corporate houses like ONGC, GAIL and NTPC, the place is buzzing with hoardings and banners, flexes and kiosks, as every sponsor looks to grab the attention and take root in the memories of the thousands of people who flock here to celebrate the goddess's victory over Mahishasura. For the organizers, this year is special.
This year we are celebrating 49th year of celebration, and our theme is traditional yet modern puja. We are now celebrating Durga Puja after COVID. So the first year of the COVID was not so good, but year by year, like sponsors are coming up front and supporting us.
For companies, sponsoring the event is not a one-off. It's increasingly being built into their annual promotional budgets. The sponsorships, which often cross 70 lakh rupees and even cross 1 crore rupees on occasion, have helped the pavilion organizers expand the scope and grandeur of their celebrations. This is the Mela Ground Puja at CR Park, a centerpiece of Delhi's Durga Puja celebrations. With a budget of about 1 crore, it's a stunning display of culture and craftsmanship. For the sponsors, the crowd, which often crosses 50,000 people per day, are a big draw. And some big names are here for the visibility that offers.
We are having a huge rush. It starts from Panchami onwards and gradually it increases. On the day of Ashtami and Navami, we have the highest number of footfalls and it goes up to 60 to 70,000 persons per day. Our main sponsors are corporate houses, public sector undertakings, public sector banks, and individual entities also. So our main sponsors are Indian Oil Corporation, IREDA, GAIL, Canara Bank, State Bank of India, and Airtel Payment Bank, Ellen Soli.
The retailers and small business owners who participate are also betting on the festivities to build their coffers. The Confederation of All India Traders, or CAIT for instance, expects to generate business of over 50,000 crore rupees nationwide. Delhi alone is projected to contribute over 8,000 crore rupees over the 3-day period. And as the celebrations pick up pace and fervor, it becomes more than just a religious festival. It becomes a cultural phenomenon that marries tradition, community and commerce. In New Delhi, Meghna Sen.
Well, with that, it is time for us to wrap up this edition of India Business Hour. Thanks very much for watching. The news will continue, and here's wishing all our viewers a very happy Dussehra from all of us here at CNBC TV 18. Thanks for watching.